Hello and welcome to the Futurist Letters Show. My name is Cairo Smith. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Futurist Letters, the journal. I am also the host of the Futurist Letters Show, which you are listening to here. Today we have an interview. We are going to be talking to Andrew Park, the creator of lit.salon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Nice
And
to meet you.
we are also joined by my co-host extraordinaire, Nathan Eidingen. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Cairo. Cairo, I'm really sorry, but I had a few beers before this, and I need to go for like a couple minutes,
Uh,
so I'll be right back.
right now.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Just give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Um, how's it going, Andrew?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's a hot
I
day.
sorry, hang on. I'm getting a call. Uh, hello?
Mr. Cairo, it is I,
Yes.
Max the Translator.
Hello, Max.
I'm very angry with you. You ran a hit piece on me. You stated that I didn't know 7 languages.
I don't know if I would call it a hit piece, sir.
It was absolutely a hit piece, and I am plotting my revenge right now
Oh,
as we speak, but
oh,
I'll have you know that I am learning an eighth language.
an eighth language. What would that be?
Right now, Mr. Kyra, I am learning Chinese and I am preparing a proper, never before seen translation of The Art of War by Shih Tzu. And
Is that right?
there is a famous quote in The Art of War, Din Tai Fung Cha Shu Bao, which means always interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. And you are making a mistake, Mr. Cairo. One you will
I
live
see.
to regret.
Well, Max, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we are trying to run a show here, so
Mr.
uh,
Cairo, you were merely adopted being a Nepo baby. I was born Nepo baby,
uh,
molded by it. I was translating ancient Sumerian while you were a renter. I was memorizing the Aeneid and Dante's Inferno while you were playing Factorio. That is
this
you,
is
Mr. Cairo.
oddly specific and personal, but are, is this going to be a problem?
For you, you haven't heard the last of me, Mr. Cairo. I am plotting, and you will have a large reprisal.
Okay, well, I think that this is all just good normal literary discourse, so no need to do anything extreme, but thank you very much for calling in, Max. This is not a call-in show, but happy to talk to you. Oh, he hung up. Okay. Um uh hey man.
Hey, did I miss anything? What happened?
Uh no. No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Are we good to start the show now?
Yeah, I think let's start the show for real. Yeah, sorry about that, Andrew.
Okay.
That was weird. Hello and welcome to the Futurist Letters Show. My name is Cairo Smith. If you want to sponsor the show, this is where your sponsor message will go instead of me just asking you to sponsor. So please do it. You will support our efforts. You will protect us from supervillains. You will help us make more content and interview more interesting people. So, on that note, I have Andrew Park here, a very interesting person, the creator of Lit Salon, which they describe as Goodreads for people who hate Goodreads. So I'm going to pass it over to Andrew to explain in his own words who he is and what he does.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Cairo.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. It's my first time ever doing any interview or podcast. So hopefully it's not too
I
choppy.
promise that wasn't like representative of. Oh, we shouldn't talk about it on the air. Nothing happened at the beginning of this show. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
No, but yeah, I'm Andrew. My real name's Juan. South Korean. Uh, what else? Yeah, I'm about to turn 27.
Oh,
I live in
huge.
D.C. Yeah, yeah, it's over, guys. It's fucking over. I can curse
Hey,
in here.
27 is young. That's what I hear. No, but you know, you founded a website. This is precocious. This is big. So tell us about Lit Salon. What is it?
Yeah, yeah. So it's been almost exactly a year since it's been like published, and I it's basically like yeah, it's like highbrow Goodreads. There is like a I guess like a whole philosophy behind it, but it pretty much comes down to like no one likes Goodreads, and all the alternatives kind of suffer from like the same stupid problem, which is that like it's all kind of just like normcore, not really that interesting, and it doesn't really have that like whole community feeling that like I feel like this group of people that like it attracted really enjoy of like having that old internet feel. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist, but it's like very focused on like looking very good and just having like simple good UX. It's very like letterbox inspired too. So
Yeah, I
I try.
notice a lot of like pretty alt people smoking when I go to the homepage. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe smoking is a big part of alt lit. I don't know.
No, no. I mean, it's funny because like it attracted that group of people, but like it wasn't really like yeah, like I didn't really expect that it would like so entirely be driven by those people, which I actually enjoy
Uh-huh.
in retrospect, obviously, because like I feel like it gives like a stronger brand identity, I guess.
I guess
But
we
yeah,
would call those scene people or alt people or something. I mean, they're not really hipsters. I don't know. We all know who they are.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we all do, I guess. But yeah,
Now,
yeah, it's been a great
A
run for a year. So
a mixture of Indian women and
Indian, are we just gonna start listing like haplogroups that comprise like the alt lit scene? I joined someone added me to like an alt lit Twitter group chat, and it was just people talking about what percent Jewish they are. Um,
check.
yeah, I mean
yeah,
half the lit salon server is like crypto Jewish.
Yeah,
crypto Jewish,
Yeah, crypto Jewish. Yeah, but this is
huge.
also true of alt lit as well. Um, Andrew, where did you get the idea for lit salon? Like, when did it start? Like, where were you at the time?
what was it? I was like a full time software engineer. And this is like at this point it's like a year and a half, year and 8 months ago from this point, and I was just like so sick of my fucking job as everyone eventually becomes. And like I mean, I don't know. For me, it was like always like I joined this industry because like I was like in sixth grade when I watched like The Social Network, and it was always about like output and making something cool. And then one day you wake up and you're 25 and you're just a fucking loser working at some job, a fucking H1B slave. And I had a couple of these like ideas, like these crackpot ideas. I remember one of them when I was like a bit younger, like 21 or something, was like a mechanical keyboard marketplace or some shit. Because back then I was like really fucking autistic about like mechanical keyboards. And
Do you
then
still have a mechanical keyboard?
And do
I
you have
do.
a favorite type of switch?
I don't think I go that far anymore, but
All
this is the
right.
one. This,
Oh
Look, that's a
wow,
nice keyb.
that
That's solid.
that's
Is
a
it blank?
beauty right there. Yeah.
no, it has like Japanese kanji letters.
Oh, okay. All
With a
right,
dog
that
whistle.
counts.
Yeah,
I
and
do know a guy who is very proud of his like blank programming keyboard.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is such like a fucking tech bro thing to get obsessed about because it's entirely like surrounded by like just buying shit, which is like, I mean, that's like half the joy of any fucking hobby, I guess. But like this one especially, it's like fucking golf, where eventually you're just buying clubs, and it's like not even thinking about the keyboards after a certain point. But yeah, like I remember at that time, like and like the other big one that I always wanted to do was like do Goodreads, but better, I guess. Even though I didn't really know what that meant, I still don't really know exactly what it means. And then eventually, like as I got into like my mid 20s, like I guess like reading obviously just was more interesting than fucking keyboards. And then there were a couple other ones that were I'm not even gonna mention because they're so fucking stupid. But so yeah, I started like drilling into that, and then I think a huge part of it was also just like, I mean, without sounding like a fucking like narcissistic freak, um, I thought that like I probably have like a pretty good set of skill sets to do this because it's one of those things where like okay, like there's obviously like you have to like be an engineer who can actually make like a fully functioning like full stack site, but beyond that, there's also like the aspect of like you kind of want to like satisfy the snobs because I always knew that like I should have like explained this in the beginning, but I guess like a kind of like one of the fundamental ideas that I had was like you got to start at the top. Like you got to start at the top of the food chain when it comes to like readers in general, and then you go down below rather than like because if you think about Goodreads, it pretty much like captures. I guess like if you just think about it from like a high level, it captures like this giant populace of just readers in general, and then you think of them as like okay like YA readers and like anywhere in between like high school students, middle school students, like normal people, like Midwest moms, blah blah blah. But like my philosophy was that like okay, like we like this site, whatever this becomes, like should capture like the snobs first, which like sets kind of like the tone of the culture of the site and like kind of like the taste level of the site, and
Yeah.
then down below from there, and then it like won't like easily lose that identity that's like been already set. Like and it's like very pretentious and it's like very insufferable, obviously,
How do
but
you feel like you capture the snobs on lit salon? Like, why do you feel like lit salon attracts them?
I think I think a huge part of it was like the places I advertised it in the beginning. Like it was very intentful in a way. Like I remember what else? What did I do? I did Red Scare Book Club, which like I guess is like a very specific intersection of like that type of people who like live in metropolitan cities and think they're better than everyone else, and
I
usually.
almost don't want to plug this because the
Mhm.
last thing it needs is more random traffic, but this is like an internet community, to be clear, right? That's spun off from the Red Scare podcast. Although it seems like it almost has a life of its own, fully detached from the podcast now, which is kind of strange.
It is very strange, honestly, especially like the book club subreddit, and like there's like also the film club, I think,
Yeah.
subreddit, which are
Yeah.
like even more detached, so it gets even more fucking crazy. It's like, yeah, it's just like a moniker at this point. But
How did you become aware of these communities? Are you a book snob?
no, that's the funny part is that everyone thinks that like especially my real friends like think that like oh like you made this site, you must have really like interesting opinion on books or like some sophisticated taste level, but like I really don't. That's like the ironic part. Um,
You're just
but
serving a market. You're serving a community. I
yeah, I
assume
guess
that
like
you go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say that the interesting part, I guess, is that like that community, if anything, probably like influenced me a lot more than like I influenced them with Lit Salon because Lit Salon is just a fucking site at the end of the day. But like
Yeah.
I learned more from those communities and kind of like it like shaped my taste and what I like to read, for example. So it's kind of like this two-way street, and I thought that like so yeah, I think I originally found all those through like just a friend of mine back in like 2021, like right after COVID when we were all like fucking bored. I had a friend who was like really interested in the scene, and he like
In
kind of showed
Times
me
Square,
this. Yeah, yeah. And back then I remember there was like this like fucking newspaper called like the Drunken Canal that he like used to give me copies of.
which to
I'm
be
not sure.
clear, for the viewers who and listeners who don't know, like you are a New Yorker, like you live in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
to a
do.
certain degree, you encounter this stuff in physical space because just of the nature of living in New York, right? Like you run into people that are just interested in this stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then it's also like how should I say it? Like the group of people that I was friends with were are like just I guess they all just kind of naturally gravitated towards it. It was very like because I don't have that many friends who were like that. It was like just so happened so that like one of my best friends was probably the one person I knew who was like the most obsessed with it all. And I
Uh-huh.
won't because he probably will find it embarrassing. And we were like way younger back then, so I won't do
Uh-huh.
that to him. Like
But
so
you
he was
almost made something
Mhm.
that would be a fit for him. I mean, that's
yeah
very
yeah
sweet in a way.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he does like really like it and love it. I don't think he uses it too much because I don't think I don't think he really uses like any of the logging platforms like Letterbox, Goodreads, or really anything like that. But
Were
but
you a
yeah, he
Goodreads user before you started it?
I was for a bit, but like I don't know, man. It's like I mean, I'm sure you guys can relate to, and probably a lot of people who like use the site. It's just so fucking bad in some level. And I have a friend who works at Amazon on the Kindle team. He's like a software guy.
Yeah.
And internally at Amazon, they call Goodreads a zombie product because it's fucking like it's just like it's like a Walking Dead. It's like everyone knows that like this shit is terrible, but no one really fucking cares because it's owned by $1 trillion company that's like running the entire fucking world logistics. So why the fuck would they care? They care about like AWS and Amazon.com, and Goodreads is just
What does terrible mean for you? Like for our listeners that might not be software engineers, like what makes an app terrible?
So I think actually probably in terms of like the engineering of it all, I'm sure it's phenomenal, right? Like I
Hmm.
mean that's why like Goodreads like, has the best data, right? The book data that Goodreads gets is like directly from publishers. And it's
Yeah.
usually perfect because it's to sell books that they submit, so it can't have any fucking silly mistakes or anything like that. All the covers are perfect and like they have the best metadata and like I'm sure this in terms of like the engineering aspect, I'm sure the site is like just miles ahead of like anything someone like me or like a couple like one man team can build. But it's kind of like the what I think is really terrible is kind of like the kind of like the philosophy behind the product in a way, or and I don't even think it's like intentional, right? Because it's like it's just something that's been around for pretty much like our entire lifespans at this point. Um,
Yeah.
I think it like doesn't really um how should I say like doesn't really foster some sense of like belonging or community.
It
Like
doesn't spark joy.
it doesn't. And like eventually what would happen is that like how I started using Goodreads is that like it was literally just basically a fucking Google Docs. It was just to simply track what I read. Stuff I wouldn't even use like all the different bullshit of like to read, have read, want to read or whatever. Like I just thought the whole distinction was kind of silly.
Yeah.
And like it just became like a glorified fucking Google Docs of like just keeping track of what I read. And I'm like, okay, like
Like a
but this
CRM,
is the
like a book
point, yeah.
CRM.
Right. And it's like, okay, but like and then like a bit into using the product, you're like, but wait, like my favorite part of like kind of like the book internet aspect is that like I can like you go to like Red Scare Book Club or whatever, like r/lit or whatever, or 4chan even, and then like you get recommended books and you learn about new books and like it kind of like shapes your interest and like your taste and like how you approach um what you want to read, and you don't really get any of that from Goodreads, and I just thought it was very like frustrating, and I also thought that like it's such a meme, right? Like it's
Goodreads?
probably not a meme to people outside of the industry, but like the like reinventing Goodreads is like the biggest fucking meme in like probably like software products because like everyone's thought of it, everyone wants to do it because it's like the easiest fucking
Yeah.
idea. It's really it's like the least original idea I used to call it. And
So
it's
what
like
is their moat? How does Goodreads hang in with a terrible product?
I honestly I think the moat is the fact that it's owned by Amazon. It's very tightly integrated into Kindle, Amazon, um, and also the fact that like even though I talk about it as if it's like this terrible fucking thing, it's realistically speaking, unless you're like us, it's like for our mothers maybe. I don't think it's that terrible either. Um,
Sure.
so I think
So
that is pretty much the moat.
So for Lit Salon, how do you shape the UI and the UX to create the community? Like in terms of the technical aspect, how do you make the community that you want for it?
Um, that's a good question. I think well, first of all, I think a lot of it is kind of organic and it's kind of like faded in some way. I think it's very difficult to control like directly like that. I
Hmm.
think the second thing is kind of like the high level decisions that I make, or I guess I made earlier. Like I guess like the Discord's a big thing, and like the Discord already like says a lot, right? I mean, this isn't really reflected in the site, I guess, but I guess it kind of is in some level. Is that like I don't like moderation. I don't like Jannies. I don't like moderate. Like yeah, I don't like any sort of like censorship or any um like
Sure.
yeah, essentially just like any sort of Janny activity I really dislike because I grew up in like Korean internet as well where like everything's just like IRC chats, anything goes, everything goes, um, and I think a lot of it is also like the original people that it attracted, and kind of like also like the probably also like the design of the site. It's a little bit obtuse, like you said. There's like literally random fucking pictures of like fucking Charlotte Gainsbourg and like Asian woman smoking, and if you're just like a normal person, you look at that and you're just like, what the fuck even is this?
I
Like,
mean, in a
what is
way, it's probably a filter, right? You know,
exactly,
like,
exactly? So there's all these like little dog whistles and
yeah.
like missteps in the site to kind of see, okay, like, do you get it? Do you actually like
Uh-huh.
want? Would you want to use this?
Yeah,
And
And
are those,
speaking,
did you choose those images or are those like algorithmically chosen from the community like posts?
no, I chose them, and
Okay.
it's I was actually supposed to be very temporary. Like I just needed a homepage because, yeah, I just needed a homepage to do something, and then I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let me just bubble this together, and then it's been like 9 months, and I can't think of anything better. But like, hopefully, we'll have something more.
I mean, when you find something that's driving growth, like you're at like a local minimum, like it's hard to move out of that. You know, you don't want to mess up the formula if you've tapped something, you
That
know.
too, and it's like it's also like sometimes like people like message me and they're like, "Oh, dude, like the homepage is like perfect. Like, don't fucking change it, please." Like, it's like it like captures some sort of like intangible thing that like I think you should communicate. And then when people say stuff like that, it's exactly what you said, Cairo, where it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, like now I don't want to touch it. Now like what if this is like the fucking je ne sais quoi that I fuck up?" Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
speaking of dog whistles, it's been described on different places on the internet. Some people have said that lit salon is Goodreads but with slurs, um, especially with the lack of moderation involved. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, like, what do you think about that? How does that make you feel when people say things like that?
Um. Well, personally, I do think that there is no such thing as bad publicity. I mean, there is, I guess if you're like fucking Epstein or Weinstein, but in general, I think with like LLCs and
Like
products, there's
the guy
I
who
mean, they
ran for New
died and
York
went to
City,
prison, so
yeah, yeah,
or like the
yeah.
guy, like, did you hear about that guy who ran for New York mayor or city council? I forget, but his name was Harvey Epstein.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
oh
remember that.
yeah, Harvey Epstein.
Harvey Epstein,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Wait 1 second, guys. I'm gonna just turn on the AC in my apartment. It's so fucking
Yeah,
hot here.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Listener,
yeah.
this
Go
is
ahead.
not a skit, to be clear.
This is not a
He's
skit.
actually turning on the AC lest he have any problems with a fan in his closed apartment. That's not what we
in
would want.
in his cramped Bushwick arena.
This, you asked kind of another variant of what I was going to ask, Nathan, which is, are you expecting to get canceled, or have you been canceled?
No, no. I mean, I did get fired from my job. That's unrelated to Lit Salon, and
Unrelated to Lit Salon. Okay.
yeah,
Unrelated.
Can we hear the
Nathan knows
story?
the story. Yeah, and Cairo, unfortunately, you don't. Maybe I'll tell you off air. But in terms of like Lit Salon, like that's I mean, that's also why I don't like to really attach my name to it. I mean, I do in the sense that like when I apply to jobs, I put it in there and just like lie
I mean,
about
there
all
have
the
to be like 80,000 Andrew Parks, though, right?
yeah, yeah, and also it's one of those things where I'm like I don't even care because like let's be real, like nothing on Lit Salon is even remotely as bad as like probably like three X threads, like Twitter threads, essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
also
I
it's
mean,
just a sacrifice that I think is like worthy in a way where I'm just like, no, like I will die on this hill where I'm like, I think Elon Musk buying out Twitter was probably the best thing that ever fucking happened in like the last 10 years on the internet. Like, is that probably like a really corny bad take? Maybe, but like, I don't know. I look at Twitter now and I'm like, yeah, it's a shit show, but like this is so much more fun than what it used to be. And like, I think it same goes for everything else on the internet where I'm just like the internet is so fucking neutered now. Like people, there's just too much money in it, and when there's too much money in anything, it just becomes like fucking neutered. And I think
Speaking
that's
of
like the internet.
money,
Yeah.
can I ask about the funding of lit salon? Do you have you done a raise? Are you planning to do a raise?
No, no, no. It's like nowhere enough. Like we have 2,200 users, like 150 to 200 daily active users. That's like a fucking rounding error. And
That might be
B
everybody who reads good books in America, though. I'm sorry, like you might be at your growth cap. I'm sorry, that's a
I
joke.
mean,
If any like VCs are listening, that's a joke.
it's honestly, it's just self funded. It just goes straight to my fucking credit card. There's not even
What
an
a
LLC.
Chad.
It's just funded out of my fucking savings and my
Giga
liquidated full.
Chad.
Do
But
you have like a Cloudflare at least? Like, can someone just like DDoS you and like
no, no.
drain your credit card?
The stack, my friends call it like the pay to win stack. It's everything's like managed by Google. Like it's all Firebase. It's all
Oh, that's good.
Vercel.
Do you
It's all big.
worry? Do you
Yeah.
worry about big tech like de-hosting you if Lit Salon becomes too controversial, or do you think those days are behind us?
I think those days are behind us. I think you got to be a really bad guy to get there. Like I think you got to be like 4chan. I think you got to be like what's the other
Harvey
one? Truth,
Epstein, Lit Salon.
Harvey Epstein. Lit Salon.
Truth Social, and I don't even know if Truth Social is like banned or whatever the
I
fuck.
don't know what
really.
their hosting is now. I feel like everyone's so
Yeah.
afraid of retaliation they wouldn't do anything now.
Yeah, yeah, and and also like back to what I said, I guess is that like there's really like that's kind of like a part of the identity of the site that's I think more influenced by like the Discord side, but in the grand scheme, the site is like very um people are very polite there. I don't think anyone's acting out there. I've seen like a rogue slur here and there, but it's definitely nothing even remotely crazy, like at all.
So
So
speaking in terms of like building internet communities, were you surprised that the Discord took off as much as it did?
no, for
Or
sure. That's probably one of the most surprising things because, like, I did have like this whole strategy of like, okay, like I'm gonna do this here, like I'm gonna advertise here because this place has all these people and they would jive well with kind of the philosophy. But like the one thing I never really predicted was like how fucking live the Discord would be. And I thought that like in the beginning, like okay, like Discord's just gonna be where people are like, oh, can you fix this? Can you do this? Can you add this? But somehow, literally in like a span of like less than a month it became like the unofficial like Red Scare Book Club Discord, I guess.
yeah, yeah, that's probably fair to say.
So are there
And
some
it's
people that are using the Discord in the way that you originally intended them to use the app? Then like what is I feel like I'm getting such deja vu asking this. But like
no,
do
no, no. You're right.
yeah.
You're right. And I've complained about this to my friends where I'm like, there's people on the fucking Discord who don't even use the fucking site. Um, but I think it's like a good symbiotic relationship between the Discord and the site where it's like
Yeah.
and I think that's why it's so nice that like for example, if this was a book Discord, right? If the site didn't exist and it was just the fucking Discord, let's say, um, the Discord we don't ever fucking talk about books. Like,
Okay.
people are talking
Yeah, yeah.
about books, so it's kind of like it would be like this situation where like what the fuck even is this? Like you guys aren't even
What
fucking.
what do people talk about on the Discord?
Well, people are doing like character assassinations on translators. People are doing talking about just like diary posting. Um, what else? People, yeah, it's just a fucking like schizophrenic nightmare. Honestly, it's like there's like a whole interesting cast of characters and like most of them use the site and there's also like the people who never contribute to any like bullshit discussions who like strictly like just suggest features, suggest designs. Um,
Without
so it's
without
mhm,
naming the name of any users, like
yeah.
I've heard you talk about like there's one user you're obsessed with that lives in a castle. Can you?
A castle?
Yes, yes, yeah. There we have a I guess a Discord user who's very prolific. Who's very yeah. He just
Like always online?
yeah, yeah, and there's very interesting like personal lore about him. Like married to a baroness.
A baroness. How do you verify this? Do you have like proof of castle somehow? Are these anonymous characters?
Um, they're anon, and he's definitely anon. I mean,
Okay.
I know his real name, which I've never told anyone. And I probably can't because he'll probably like send fucking someone to kill me. But no,
This
I
sounds
believe
like
it.
maybe
I'm
an
a truther.
unhealthy relationship, but maybe it's
Yeah,
good. Maybe it's good.
yeah, yeah,
These are the power users. I mean, you said you were designing your app for power users, right? So I guess here they
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and yeah, I mean, overall, I would say like the reception and like the usage, I guess, um,
So
definitely like exceeded expectations
I
overall.
have
Yeah.
two lines of questioning I'm interested in, and sometimes I like to let guests pick. So, would you rather go down like a like culture, like user culture rabbit hole, or like a more of a technical rabbit hole?
Wait, sorry, I couldn't hear the second
Oh,
one.
like
User.
a user culture rabbit hole, or like a technical rabbit hole? Which would you rather get into?
I think user culture is probably
User
more
culture.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will set my curiosity about databases aside and ask, have you ever tried to do an in-person lit salon event? Have you ever done like lit salon live?
No, it's a actually we talked about it. Like I met some like real life friends that I see like quite often actually off the site. Like uh, I won't say their last names, but like Patricia, Drew, Anthony. There's like some people that I like. I would say that I'm like actually friends with them at this point that I'm like met off the site, and they
Oh,
like are usually a bit older than me and like cooler than me, know more people than me. So they like brought these things up to me where they're like, oh, we should do like an in person event with like or like do some sort of like collab with like a reading, at like KGB or whatever the fuck.
KGB
And I
bar being the bar that's also a literary hub in Manhattan. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a literary hub, but to me it's just
What
a
Well, I
about
think it's a literary
what
hub. They
about
have a literary journal. Yeah.
do that. I didn't even fucking know that.
Yeah,
Damn.
I
what
was
about
recently
clandestino?
what's that?
What about clandestino?
Clandestino.
Sure, sure. I mean,
Nathan,
I
it
think
sounds like you're a little familiar with some of these people. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm more plugged into New York than Andrew is, and I haven't lived there in like
Probably.
years. Yeah.
You're like the
Yeah.
puppet master. Yeah, if New York fell into the ocean or I don't know, had a power outage, like what percent would there still be traffic on Lit Salon?
Yeah, yeah, no, no. It's surprisingly not New York driven. I mean, that's like if
Okay.
anything, that's like a curated brand image, I guess that I go for because I think it's
All
really
right.
cool when like products have like a locality to them and you can kind of pin it to like a city or something like that. Like
It's
and you
you.
know like
You're
oh
productizing the alt lit community. You're
yeah, I mean I wish it was even that cool because I'm not making any fucking money off
Yeah,
of it. I don't
I'm
I
kidding.
ever will honestly,
But but you're also obsessed with New York as well, right? Like you've wanted to
yeah,
live
yeah,
in New York like always, like you love America, you like think New York is the only place to live in the world.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
true. That's true.
so you
Yeah,
grew
I
up
do.
in South Korea and you moved to New York?
Yeah, I did. I did. So like I was born in the UK. That has no relevance, but
All right.
and then I grew up in Korea until
Well, we can
like
say congratulations on leaving the UK at least. So, yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I mean,
They,
I
they
wish if Thatcher didn't fuck shit up, I would have a passport from the UK, but and that would have like made a lot of things easier. But it's okay, you know, she's
Damn.
fine. But yeah, I like grew up in Korea until like third grade, and then I like went to the US for like 2 years or so, and then like came back to Korea for like five, six, seventh grade, and then came back to the US in eighth grade, and then pretty much never left. And then like I just got my green card approved, so hopefully I don't need to ever fucking leave.
but at this point
Congratulations.
you feel like completely American. Like you don't do how much do you feel like you're Korean compared to the other Koreans you meet?
I mean, yeah, I like being an American is like a state of mind, right? In some way, without sounding
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, of course.
I call it just, it's like a it's just a this country is
We
just a
literally
fucking
like
vest.
ejected someone from the show for saying that
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
we
no,
did.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
kidding, kind of not kidding.
No, no, he's
Yeah.
not kidding. Like we at the end point of the interview, he said
Mhm.
that like, oh, people have like said that I liked Hitler, and Cairo had to be like, do you not like him? Like,
Yeah, so we're learning. We're definitely learning like what sort of discourse to cultivate. I think it's very different though,
Mhm.
inviting people on a show versus just like creating a scaffolding for community, you know? Like if someone says something weird in your Discord, like you didn't like be like, "Hey man, please join my Discord and say weird shit." You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
like
true.
it's almost like you're just like building an ant farm, right? And they're digging the tunnels as it were.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to get back to you becoming American, wanting to be
yeah,
American. What is being an American to you?
Um, for me, honestly, it's just being able to live here and make dollars, spend dollars.
it's freedom.
Like, yeah, yeah, and like, I get it. I get it. Like, you know, people born with the American passport, like, get entitled to it. I would too if I was born here, and don't think about it. Don't even think about like the alternative. And they whenever they do think about an alternative, they're thinking about like Western Europe and like fucking fantasizing about like living in Berlin or some other fucking stupid bullshit. But I think like to me, it's like this is where you compete. This is like the varsity team of like the world economy.
Wow,
And like
you're in the
and,
arena.
yeah, and it's not that dramatic. I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm trying to entertain, but like it's true to some extent. Like and also like you got to remember like Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, like the Confucian legalist, collectivist, like conformist societies are like suffocating to like a degree where it's like I don't know. Even as a child, I just like always fantasized about like America. I mean, that's part of the propaganda that we were fed because we're pretty much like a vassal state. But
How do you feel
Uh-huh.
like you would
But
fit
like
in
cool
if you like?
propaganda, valid propaganda. Okay, go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, let's say like you moved to Seoul, like you moved to Seoul next year, and you got like a
Mhm.
high-paying job at Samsung or whatever. Do you feel like
Yeah,
you would fit in? Do you feel like you would have a nice life, or do you feel like you would just stick out like a sore thumb?
no, it probably end up in me. If I'm being honest, like probably killing myself. Like no lie, it's like because it's like I don't know. It's like in some ways it's so hopeless. And it's not that dramatic. It's not like it's like I'm living in fucking Somalia, right? But it's like 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 being like living in a collectivist society like that, and it's like it's not just collectivist either. There's just so much nuance that it's almost impossible to even like describe, right? But I guess that's like natural. But it's like the American ideal of like even just the fact that in this country like you people get second chances. In this country people can like be successful without a college degree is honestly such a fucking miracle. Like in Korea, like if you don't go to like one of the best universities, like your life is fucked. Like there is no coming back. Like your life is in a way like determined at like 17 in some ways. Like it's really that like important for a reason. And like also like the wealth disparity, like how much the chaebols like just control so much of the fucking economy. It's like it's just so lopsided and
What
so
is a
fucked up. Like
chaebol for our listeners?
they're kind of like I guess like Korean oligarchs in a way.
Hmm.
It's my humble opinion that like we should kill all them and hang them. Um,
Would that
So
be
like,
legal speech in Korea? Probably not. That would probably be like jail.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but to be
Yeah.
clear for the listeners and viewers,
Mhm.
like Samsung alone is like 20% of South Korean GDP, and the other chaebols are like the majority. No.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's like I forget the statistics, but it's um, what is it? Like the top four chaebol companies, like the corporations, like control like more than 50% of the entire like the national revenue or something. But it's honestly beyond even just the fucking numbers. It's like it just like trickles down into fucking everything where it's um like even like because they have so much power, like it's essentially like a situation where like you either get a job at one of these places or you're just fucked. And like they also stifle like entrepreneurialism. Like you can't really be like a like this American ideal of an entrepreneur over there. And not that I'm saying that like being an entrepreneur is so fucking important, but like it trickles down into everything. Like being an artist is the same thing. Like and it's just in some ways I think it's just such a fucking stifled existence and such like a suffocating existence in some way. And I think there's a reason why there's a brain drain in these countries, right? Like anyone who's like shares any part of this like ideal with me.
Who's like high disagreeability and high initiative like you is gonna go to America?
Sure, sure. Or and usually it's like just privileged people usually, right? It's
Hmm.
like you know, I could come here because my my parents like could pay for an education in America. I mean, they weren't quite rich enough to like figure out like the green card part. And I had to kind of do that on my
Yeah.
own, I guess. But
I
overall,
think
still like
alt lit is in very many ways like an upper middle class uh, activity.
Yeah.
So I guess that sort of makes sense. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
these problems with Korea, how much do you see them as being a result of things that have occurred, as you said, as an American vassal state, versus things that are maybe products of like Korean culture predating that relationship with America?
You know, I would love to be able to say it's all the West's fault, it's all America's fault. But honestly, I don't think it's that simple. I think it really is like um, kind of our own fault in a way, and it's not really a fault either. It's just how it is, right? It's not. It's just a
Sure.
fault to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
Fault is a loaded
oh,
word.
Sure.
my system. But I think it's like I think a large part of it is like like how Asian societies operated in the past, like our kind of like this Confucian like pillars that we have, like life is just so different there in some ways, and it's so similar but so different. Like literally, like if I was a year older than you, Cairo or Nathan, like you could not even speak to me without honorifics, and if you did, and we were at like an office, I might get you fired, and
Right.
like that sort of thing like trickles down into everything. Like if I'm your boss, let's say we work at an office and you guys are my subordinates, if you guys leave the office before I do, well, you're fucking shit out of luck. You're fired the next day. If I want to go drinking and my two subordinates right here don't come with me and don't pour me alcohol all night, that's
Yeah.
also like it trickles down to like literally every fucking facet of society. And it's like and I'm probably not even doing a good job like explaining like how it impacts like the
Sure.
human
Yeah.
psyche and like the soul, I guess. But like for me, it was just it was unbearable, mainly because like I kind of knew how the West operated, because like like we grew up in the internet, like Korea is
Did
already
you
pretty
did you
westernized.
have unfiltered internet access as a kid?
I did.
I think that's
Thankfully,
another one of those things that's probably a
Yeah.
predictor of being involved in alt lit is
Outlet.
being this sort of
Yeah.
late 20s, early 30s individual who like I got one-shotted by like a very like Wild West internet, you know,
it's
at that
true.
moment in
Yeah,
history. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Do
it's
you do you feel like you're part of the scene in New York, for lack of a better term? No.
not at all. Like I literally got dragged into like um the readings at like KGB like 3 months ago, like for the very first time. I didn't even know this shit was like a thing, and like I guess I went here and there and stuff and met a lot of people, and like I had some friends who like I knew like from many years ago who like knew all these people, and it was easier for me to like kind of like I guess like dab my toes into the ocean a bit. But like no, I don't consider myself like a part of it. Do I want to be part of it? Sure, because like I think it's beneficial for like the site, and I think it's just interesting too. And like, I'm fucking bored. I'm unemployed. Like, what the fuck am I doing every day?
So how have
Um,
you been keeping busy? while you've been unemployed?
Well, trying to like find employment, and unfortunately in this industry, it's a little bit of a shit show. I also had to deal with like a lot of immigration shit for like the majority of this year. I mean,
Hmm.
Nathan, you know about this, but like
Yeah,
unfortunately, I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
talk about record like that. But yeah, like it was just like a lot of bullshit, a lot of talking to lawyers, a lot of like logistical shit to make sure that I don't like get deported. Because like the thing is like if I go back to Korea, it's bad news because I like didn't do the draft. So if I go back, it's like it's very bad. That's why it was like so important that I
Like
like
socially, legally, both?
both.
Okay.
Sadly, both. I pretty
Wow.
much like draft dodging in Korea is like the biggest taboo you can do. Like as a man, like there's nothing worse that you could probably do other than like
What led
probably
you
like
to deciding to do that?
um. Well, I always knew I wanted to live here. Like it was do or die for me in some ways.
Yeah.
Like it was like I no matter at any cost necessary, I have to find a
Burning
way
the
to like
boats in a way.
yeah, and like in a way, like what is that like if okay like if I go back to Korea and do my conscription, like how would that ever help me? It doesn't help me in the goal of staying in America. It wastes 2 years of my youth, and it does like the only reason why you would ever I would ever do it is if I had this massive inheritance that I would receive. And this is why, if you ever see a rich Korean who's an American citizen who did their draft, this is why. Is because if you don't have a Korean passport, and let's say your mom and dad dies and you have a huge inheritance to receive, that inheritance tax is going to be fucking crazy because their kid is basically a foreigner, an American.
Wow, that's
Um,
very interesting.
Very
yeah, that's
interesting.
why I have a lot of really, really rich fucking Korean friends who are born in the U.S., so they're American citizens, but they do the draft, and they keep their Korean citizenship for that specific purpose of like not being fucked when they're about to receive like $400 million. So yeah.
Is it weird being friends with people that have hundreds of millions of dollars and yet being so concerned with getting by day to day?
No, no, not at all, not at all. Because like
Hmm.
first of all, there's like two of these I know. Like it's not
Okay, okay.
like I wish I knew more of them. Trust me, but it's only like a very few of them that I know. And
Do you think
then
that
and I'm not
Koreans in America can mingle and fraternize more liberally than they would in Korea? Like
um
as far as the vibe of like being casual?
I think it depends. Like
Sure.
personally, I think that you do need to assimilate. Like, and it's like, and I think that's like a thing that happens very early in someone's like life, especially for kids who like actually go to school here. Is you come here and you're desperate to conform, you're desperate to assimilate, or I guess you kind of just march ahead without conforming. And I guess that's how you see like the situations in like American universities where like the friend group of like international students from wherever the fuck country. And I think but I think you do need to in a way where it's like especially because like in my opinion like American culture is not really hard to assimilate into. It's
What do
like
you do? What do you for
What do
me,
you?
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like a
What?
fish in the ocean. What do you do to assimilate?
Yeah. For me, I find it
um,
very difficult. So I'm curious what you mean when it's easy.
in a way I think beyond the language aspect, I think it's kind of like how should I say it? It's like I mean that's a good question because I don't really even have a good answer for it, but it's more like I guess kind of throwing yourself into the melting pot rather than trying to hold on to like this fence gate of like your either your heritage or like some sort of identity that you have that like links to your cultural past. Because for me, it's just like it's just like in some ways you just have to be a fucking
Yeah.
narcissist and be like, okay, I'm an individual. Yes, I might be Israeli, I might be Korean, I might be Taiwanese, I might be Moroccan. I, I want nice things in this world. I want to make
Uh-huh.
dollars for example, or whatever aspirations. I want to make art, whatever. and you kind of just have to be like a sickening narcissist who
That's
thinks of
so
him as like this
funny.
individual without. I mean, that is the American way, right? In some ways.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When you're in it, you gotta do as Romans do. Yeah, I certainly have a lot of sympathy for this. My family, I mean, my grandparents made this choice in the 50s and 60s to just like max out on assimilation. Like my
Right.
grandmother forbid my mom from learning Arabic. She was like, "You're just American," you know.
Hmm.
Like, and sometimes people ask me like, "Oh, you're this and this ancestry. Like, why don't you speak the language?" Like, well, because we maxed out on the America pill, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're just eating
Yeah.
burgers, you know. So I certainly sympathize with this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't get the American pill even though I was born in the US and I have an American passport. It was very much from a very young age of like you're not American, don't be like them. They're all sickening narcissists.
Mhm.
Don't copy their ways. I'm going to try and isolate you from all of them. Which in some ways
Yeah.
I'm honestly grateful for that I'm not like, you know, that I'm different, but it
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
comes with its own difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like in my case, it was just also. I think. I mean, I guess we're all similar in some ways in this, but like I also have an easy out. I also have a very easy way of feeling like I'm not a typical like whitewashed American or whatever. Because I literally like my parents don't even speak English. Every single person in my family lives back in Korea, so
Yeah.
it's like it's very easy for me to be like say all this shit and like talk about like American ideals and be like, no, just fucking assimilate, bro. Just be a fucking narcissist, bro. But it's like it's also because like I am Korean and like all my family's back there, so it's like very easy for me to just like um say all this shit and like because I'm not really like a typical Asian American. I don't even have an American passport yet, so it's
Hmm.
so I guess I have like this very easy way out. To
Of
kind of
if you're
enjoy
worried
the
about being
benefits
too
of
assimilated,
life.
you have a. Do people give you grief for that? Do you find yourself getting chastised by people for being too assimilated?
No, no, never, never,
Uh
never. Like,
Do you
and
want
even
your
when I meet like even when I meet real Koreans, like people who moved here, like when they were in like their mid 20s, late 20s, even in their 30s, they're like, they get it usually because when they if they usually ended up here, that means that they eventually got the fucking message. So they usually tell me, yeah, you did the right thing, dude. I wouldn't do the fucking army if I was you. I would dodge the draft too if I was you, and like I would
And those
definitely just.
conversations, I assume, are a lot more rare in Korea. I believe the Korean
I'm
American
sure.
community is larger than the population of South Korea. Is that right? I think I read that.
no,
I can believe it. I can
No,
believe
it's
it. It's
not.
a
no,
I
there's
guess
like
that doesn't
what,
make a
like
lot of
30,
sense when
40
I say it out
million.
loud.
There's 30, 40 million people
There's
in
no way.
Korea, in South
The
Korea.
America would
There's
need
yeah,
no
yeah.
like a
way.
quarter
There's
Korean
no
for
way.
that to be the
American
case.
Yeah.
population is 150 million,
All
right?
right, all right, all right.
America would just be like do the right thing as like a whole neighborhood as like a neighborhood for a country if that was true. Like
I
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get at something. You may have absolutely no experience with this, but for me, working in entertainment, working in arts, Hollywood
Mhm.
literature, you get a lot of pressure to. I'm trying to think of a polite word for it. Basically, like prostitute out your heritage as sort of like a diversity token. Like, have you experienced people like Americans trying to get you to do this in professionally?
Um, not for me personally
No.
because I think they usually know me too well and they know that I'm gonna call them a fucking loser. But
Okay.
but yeah, it's definitely a thing, and I think it's. I mean, I have my personal opinions on it that like I personally think it's a little it's a little forced. I also think it's a little narcissistic to do it. Like I think like like for example, if you're like an Asian American, like you're an American, like, and that's a good thing. That like you should be fucking happy your parents fucking had the foresight to
Yeah.
fucking have you, and you shouldn't like try to like reconnect with this fucking imaginary heritage that you don't even fucking have. and try to like pawn off some fucking crying at H Mart like diaspora literature or some.
Yeah, I think we all go to H Mart there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's,
wonder
it's
I
just
wonder
like
how much of it is just them like responding to market incentives, you know? Like I feel like the demand for like tearful second gen stories maybe exceeds the supply a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Do you want
and
your
like
kids to know Korean if you have them?
I do, but just for the sake of like being able to communicate with my family, and like if my family all spoke fluent English, I probably won't even, because I'm like I know how this shit works. Like they won't retain it unless they go live in Seoul, for years and years, or at least like months, or at least a summer every other year, or some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like you're just not gonna retain it. And like, what are you really doing? You're just like fucking making your kids suffer and wasting money on tutors or what, a Kumon, a Korean language Kumon or whatever the fuck. And it's like, and like, yeah, but like, who knows? Who knows? You know, like maybe when I have a kid, I'll like have my
Yeah,
fucking crying at H Mart.
it's just funny for us because Cairo and I both spent. I mean, Cairo's an LA guy, and I spent a lot of time growing up in LA, which we
Mhm.
grew up with. A lot of Korean people, so it's a bigger
Yeah.
diaspora there than New York, unless I'm mistaken.
Mhm.
So it's just
Yeah,
very
I don't
funny
even
for
think
us
you get any
hearing you say all
points
these
for
things.
being like Korean in LA. Like it's so run of the mill that people, even like woke people, are just like, oh, a Korean, you know?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
special.
You just go to Harvard Westlake and go
Oh
to
yeah,
Yeah,
choir.
yeah.
exactly.
Harvard Westlake is for sure the magnet school for yeah.
Yeah, it's Koreans are like spiritually Jewish in that way, where they're like they
I,
know the only way out is education.
I mean, look, like, the future ruling class of America is the master race of Ashkenazi, Han, Korean,
Yeah, we often
Wops.
talk about
Like,
like the
yeah.
Han Ashkenazi like master race or whatever you want to call it. Not that I subscribe to any kind of racial hierarchy, but maybe there is I how do you feel like this is a good question actually. What do you think is the relationship between like the Korean striver population in America and like the other East Asian striver populations? Like is it cordial? Is it contentious?
I think it's pretty cordial personally.
Like when
Like
you meet a Japanese guy, like Japanese American, it's not like Jets and Sharks. You're not gonna like beef.
no, yeah, and like I remember in Korea it's different. In Korea, like I remember
Uh huh.
kids would give me some shit for not caring. Like I remember when I was a kid in elementary, there was like a soccer match between Korea and Japan, and some kid who was like a little bullyish asked me like so who are you rooting? And I was like who
Oh, are
cares? Like
you
dude,
Japanese
like
as well as Korean?
no, I'm fully Korean, but like I just never gave a fuck. I think I was just
Oh,
always too
okay, I
selfish,
see.
like to really anything that doesn't involve me in some direct manner. And I remember I told this kid like, oh, like I don't care about who wins this fucking soccer match. I'm trying to like go play like Team Fortress 2 when I get home and like jerk
What was
off.
your main
And
in
this
Team Fortress 2?
um soldier, demo, sniper, the obvious shit, scout. Yeah, I played a lot of like
Okay, all
6v6
right, that's a
competitive.
lot. You're throwing a lot at me. Were you like a
Yeah, I like
very
4,000.
like were you like rocket? Were you a big like rocket jumping like mobility guy with that
Yeah,
stuff? Like, were you
I'm
jumping off your
really
demo
good.
bombs? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. If there's one thing in my life that I can say I'm objectively amazing at, it's Team Fortress 2. I have a lot of fucking. I have like 4,000,
four
hours. I think around.
thousand.
Did
Wow.
you ever
Yeah,
play
and
like
like
in a
I
league?
played since fifth grade.
Did you ever play like in a league or in tournaments?
I did. I played some like. I remember when I was in eighth grade, I would lie to everyone that I was like 21. Going to some anonymous college that I wouldn't tell them where.
Uh huh.
And I would never hop on chat because I sounded like a fucking 14-year-old, obviously.
Uh
And I played like yeah like UGC platinum matches and like played some 6v6. But and then like in 10th grade I had like some sort of like reckoning like this is like the Korean gene kicking in. And then like 10th grade I was like I gotta stop fucking playing video games. I have to go to Harvard. I can't do this. Like I have to fucking go to like an Ivy League school. My life's gonna be fucking ruined if I don't play video games if I don't
did
stop.
you did
And
you
I
go to
like
Harvard?
threw out. PC and like never played a video game since, other than like Minecraft here and there.
You physically threw out your PC?
No, I sold it to my friend for like literally dirt cheap. I think I gave him like my entire setup, including the monitor and everything, for like $250, and I like
Wow.
bought a MacBook.
I think my buddy
Yeah.
did
Where-
that to me, and now he's a software engineer. In fact, he did that in 10th grade. So I think I got foisted.
Yeah, you got hustled, man.
Yeah, is your buddy academically successful now that you
No,
sold it to
that
him?
kid actually is the animator at Pixar now, so he's
Oh,
actually
wow.
really.
All
He
right,
lives in LA
okay.
or some shit.
Good for him.
Yeah, he made it.
This
He made it.
Where-
this might be too personal.
Mhm.
Sorry. Nathan, did you want to
go
jump
on,
in?
Cairo.
This might be too personal,
No,
so
I was
just tell me to stop. But
Oh, yeah.
would you say that you potentially have like an addictive or a hyper-focusing personality?
Oh, for sure, dude. For
Yeah.
sure. Like I'm addicted to like I've smoked weed every day since I was 16 years old. I drink kratom every fucking day. I don't drink alcohol, but I drink kratom, which is like probably fucking worse.
What
And
what is
then-
kratom?
Kratom's like a liquid opiate. It's stupid. Don't fucking drink it. I started drinking it like many years ago, and that's
Okay.
like a full blown fucking.
But you're locked in. I
fun.
mean, you're locked in on Lit Salon.
Yeah, you're locked in on Litsalon.
I guess so. You know what? That's
Are
what
you
I
high-
fucking
Are
tell
you high
myself.
functioning? Are you medium functioning?
No,
medium
I'm
high
high
functioning?
functioning.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think that's
feel-
pretty
how,
clear.
How do you feel like women fit in with this addictive, hyper-focusing personality?
A very interesting question.
It fits in pretty intuitively, I guess. Like, I don't think
Okay.
I don't have any mental illness. I'm very normal in the grand scheme.
Okay.
When did
like,
you
I'm
discover
not- I'm not-
When did you discover how to talk to women? Was there like a moment?
I guess like when I was a kid. Yeah,
Pretending to
when I was,
go
like,
to
a kid.
college?
Yeah. And then
Where did you go to uni?
I went to NYU. That's
went
that's
to
why I moved
NYU?
to New York City.
Is
Yeah,
that how?
nice.
Is that where you
And was
developed
that
your
in
Riz, was
America?
NYU?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's in New York City. That's like right here. Yeah.
Was that in America or
Yeah.
in Korea that you first developed your Riz game?
My Riz game, dude. There's no
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
such thing.
All right. Well, you know, whatever. I'm just curious. You said
No,
as a
yeah,
kid, so I'm trying to paint a picture.
Holy shit.
Was Andrew as like a fifth grader? Was he just like rizzing up the Korean girls in the playground?
Yeah. Was
Oh,
this?
dude. No, I was like a loser until like today. Like no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
there's- I
Okay. All right.
still don't know how to talk to women or men really. It's like
Or men.
I'm very no,
Or
I'm kidding.
men.
I'm very social. Like, I don't think there was like some sort of like. Well, how the fuck did we get here, Nathan? You motherfucker!
You know,
trapped
it's we're in the second hour, right? This is where the good stuff gets in.
me. Went from
I
talking
was
about
just
fucking
curious.
freedom to my interactions with women. This is crazy, Nathan.
This is actually your green card interview. Yeah.
I know, dude. Immediately after I said I smoked weed every day from 16, I'm like, fuck.
No, he's joking. He's joking, Feds. He doesn't smoke weed.
Yeah.
Parody.
Yeah,
Parody,
CBD if anything,
satire.
right? CBD. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that
No,
the
but-
opening 10 minutes of this call made clear that this is all performance art for anyone who's concerned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
So
Also-
Wait, I was
played-
curious about. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, Nathan, go ahead.
so what's next?
Did we lose him? What's next?
So what's
Wait, what are you
next?
saying?
What's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
Keep growing the site, get a fucking job, get health insurance again, get the
Yeah,
fuck
if you
out
get
of
like
Bushwick.
appendicitis, what do you just get like a $50,000 bill? Like what happens right now?
I mean, I have insurance until November because like the U.S. has this thing called Cobra, where like
Yeah,
you get
I did
your-
Cobra.
Over,
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
you
is
guys
like-
know. Yeah.
Such a like turning
Fuck.
25, 26 thing is like just like
I know.
for me staying on my parents' Cobra. Yeah.
No, literally, it's fucking. Yeah. So and then like I'm making me and my friends are gonna actually after this podcast I'm gonna go see my friend and we're gonna try to make some t-shirts for the site.
Oh yeah,
Um,
when is my sweater coming? I'm still waiting on my
Oh yeah,
sweater.
I saw you have
I,
hoodies.
yeah, we do have hoodies. I shipped your fucking hoodie more than a month ago. I can't believe it's still not fucking there. This is
Yeah,
nonsense. It's
This
like
is a scam.
I've checked it a bunch of times. Yeah, I've been scammed by
it's
Andrew.
crazy.
Is there
I
tracking?
mean
Is
we'll
it
see.
DHL?
There,
Did he ask
no,
you
No,
to
no, no.
ship a
It's
hoodie to a
USPS.
war
It's US.
he
zone?
shipped it. Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
he
yeah. And I
did.
remember like
He did ship the hoodie
the
to a war zone.
USPS lady was like, "So like, do you have family in Tel Aviv?" And I was like,
Yeah, did you get
"Do I
canceled
fuck?"
by the USPS lady?
No, she was just like, I guess she thought I was like fucking from Israel. She was like, "Is it like, or is this going to your family?" I'm like,
No,
"Ma'am,
dude, I
does it
think
look
she
like
was
I have
like
fucking
sussing you out, man. I don't know.
family?"
That's
I
a
was
little
like, "What?"
dangerous. All right.
Yeah, I was like, "This is a bad question." Like, what the fuck? But
You know, there's a there are like Asian people here, especially in Tel Aviv. In fact, like
Asian
there.
Jews?
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Asian Jews. Like, there's people from Central Asian countries. Like, there's a large population from Uzbekistan, and many of them look Asian. But there's also the Kaifang Jews who are like Chinese, and then there's a small Vietnamese population and Filipinos here, and Thais. There's a
What?
lot of Thai workers, like a
I
lot
think
of
you're
Thai
just making
workers.
up new kinds of Jew.
And
I don't know.
and then,
I don't know.
well, not all of them are Jewish. Like the Thais are on visas, but there is also the converts who come here who like they like converted to Judaism. And so like when I was like I'm friends with a lot of like Latin Americans here in that
Hmm.
community, and a lot of them they moved here and they went to Tel Aviv, and there's a Chinese guy there named Mr. Chan who like hooks them up with jobs and stuff, and he speaks Spanish and Hebrew but not English. And Mr. Chan is very famous for in Tel Aviv for getting you apartments and jobs, and yeah, he's a
Wow.
good guy to know, and he's
Just
very
out of the
religious.
goodness of
He
his
wears
heart,
like a
does he take a
tzitzit.
commission?
Yeah, no, he takes a commission, of course. Like what? He converted. Like he totally
All
assimilated.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah.
like
Of
yeah
course.
yeah yeah
Okay.
yeah yeah. So but like he's religious. Like he has like the tzitzit. Like he has the strings, down, and he wears a kippah. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a cool guy.
Are
But
you
yeah,
yeah.
are you religious, Andrew?
No, no, but like my parents are pretty much atheists. Like I didn't even believe in Santa Claus as a kid. And when I lived in Kansas City, because like that was like my first introduction to the U.S. Like
Yeah.
'07, '08, I saw Obama get elected, so it had to be then. I was in like Kansas and Kansas City, living with like host families. I lived with host families like all my life essentially, but the first ones in Kansas City were like evangelical Christians, and like I think that had a huge impact on me, where it was like they really forced it on me. It was like a huge thing. They were not very happy with me because I wasn't very receptive to it, and then I
An
think that really like
impact in
soured.
like hardening your resolve to not succumb to that, or what kind of impact?
Yeah, for sure. When I was a kid, um, yeah, like probably until I was like 15, 16, I was like a diehard, like, don't talk to me about fucking religion because like I had to live with fucking Korean psychos who like spoke in tongue and forced me to keep Bible diaries and told me that they
Well,
wouldn't feed me lunch unless I went to church with them
wow.
in the Sundays. Shit.
did you
So
wear
I was very jaded.
a fedora? Did
Fedora?
you
No,
wear
no,
an
no, no.
atheist fedora?
I was never like I was never like an atheist like that.
Okay.
Like
All right.
there
All
like
right.
my mom Wookie. Like my mom's like a big like Eastern astrology fan, so
She's a
I
big
have that.
Eastern. Has she tried to like set you up with someone based on your charts aligning?
No, no, it's just that okay, here's some interesting family lore that I'll tell you. So my mom got my fortune read by this like famous Korean astrologer when I was like a baby and my brother was also a baby. I mean, not really. My brother's 6 years older, so I was like just born and my brother was like 6, I guess. And then the astrologer he died in like 2009 or some shit, but like he like read both our fortunes, our charts, our astrology charts, essentially. Um, and like gave my brother like a whole fortune. Like rated his life like 80 out of 100. So funny.
You
Koreans
get
have
a
to put numbers on
score out
everything.
of 100 on your
You get a
fortune in
fucking
You get a
Korea?
score, man. You get
score.
a out of a
That's
100
so
score. And that,
depressing. This is like
for me,
Calvinism to a new level.
dude, it's amazing. And like my mom is like still has this like laminated piece of paper that she believes like dead ass.
What was your score?
And mine was like
Yeah, what was your score?
it was 90. It was 90 out of 100. But what's really interesting,
Why?
and I
Why
swear to
was it?
God, this is true.
Why wasn't it 90? Why wasn't it 100 or 98? Why was it only 90?
Dude, I don't know, but apparently the guy said that like the scores are never this fucking high. So like you're a lucky fucking mother or some shit. And my mom was obviously like, oh, very
Wow.
happy, I'm sure.
Show me like the
thing-
spreadsheet, man. I want to see the distribution.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
fascinating. Said that your second child, so me, the younger one, is gonna leave home early and he's never gonna come back, but in like a good way, I guess. But he told that to my mom, and I swear to God, because he told that to my mom made that into a self-fulfilling prophecy and sent me out to the U.S. When like the first chance like arose. And I swear to God, like because I know how like seriously she takes this fortune, that had to influence it. And I swear to God, she like made it into a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is why like I never ever get my tarot cards read. I never get my fortune read by anyone because I
already got
really
it.
do
You don't need
believe
another one.
yeah,
How old were
like
you
first
when
of all,
you
I don't
got
want to
that?
overwrite the save file. I don't want the 90 out of 100 to get overwritten. And second of
Yeah,
all,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Of course. Why
in some
retake the test?
yeah, exactly. And like in a lot of ways, I'm really afraid of them in the sense that like I feel like just by being aware of something like that like you give some sort of like divinity or like mystical power to, like you have like your intuition and like your unconscious will drive you to kind of like make it into a self-fulfilling prophecy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
sure.
that's why I never ever like get my
Yeah.
tarot cards read by like anything like that, because I'm like genuinely scared of it in a way. It's like I'm scared that I'm going to just turn it into like the truth.
I'm the same.
And then
I had one tarot card reading in my life, and way too much of it started to come true. And I just said, I actually don't want to know.
yeah.
So that's it for me on tarot. But it is fascinating.
Yeah. So, no, I was never wearing fedora.
I think we should circle back to lit salon because
Yeah.
our time is running nigh. So, gosh, I guess it's like, do you feel like there is sort of an upsurge of the type of people who like lit salon? Do you feel like you're almost catching a wave of like the culture? Or I don't know. Where do you see things going culturally with lit?
For sure. I mean, I can't really speak on like how the digital literature scene will go.
I love how you just like
because I
are
don't
so not plugged, just blissfully not plugged in to lit. It almost reminds me.
no,
You have this like moot-esque relationship with all these lit people, where you're just like the straight man and they're insane.
No, it's really, I wish I could even claim that I am like
You're definitely like the moot of lit salon. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
are
that
the mood of the lit salon.
but no, but I think it definitely does like catch some sort of wave, and I think you kind of have to in some way, and even if you don't catch a wave, you have to kind of in some way like create the wave, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think like now, like in 2025, like there's all these like cool, and this kind of goes beyond literature too, and I guess it has to, like there's all these like cool new software products that are like pushing against the status quo, because like I said earlier, like the internet has been so neutered, it's so institutionalized. Like every fucking high IQ Asian American kid at age 15, instead of saying that they want to be a McKinsey consultant or investment banker at Goldman Sachs, they're like, oh, I want to be a software engineer at Google or Facebook or whatever. So it's so institutionalized. It's so like, it's the thing to do for everyone in the fucking world now. And I think there's been this like pushback against some sort of like invisible status quo of like all these like cool like indie software products that's been popping up. Like Arena is one of
Yeah.
them. It's like male Pinterest if you don't know. Like what
Male
else? Like Urbit's one of
Pinterest.
them, right?
Okay, yeah,
Male
yeah.
Yeah.
Pinterest. Oh,
You
I
know, I
heard the
almost
best
wonder.
explanation. I heard the best explanation from like this was when I lived in the city actually. I had a friend
Mhm.
who I knew from LA who was an Indian guy who lived in Columbus Circle and he worked in McKinsey and he was trying to explain what he did to like one of his aunties back in India working as a consultant and he was like, "Auntie, I'm like a doctor but for businesses."
That's fucking crazy, man.
He was a McKinsey guy?
What a,
Yeah,
Did
he
he
was a
really
McKinsey
believe
guy. He
that,
was
or
like,
was he
"I'm a
just high
doc."
on his own? I mean, like, was he bullshitting, or did he believe that?
I You know, I think he actually believed it. Like, he was very insufferable. And the thing is like, I used to go over to his house, to his apartment a lot to like play poker or whatever. And his coworkers, all of them, like, were none of them were under the assumption that what they did was of any value. Like, you talk to them for 5 minutes and they're like, yeah, what I do is bullshit, but like, I work here for 2 years. I can do whatever I want after, you know? But he was like actually a true believer, and like everyone would make fun of him for it, but we also used to bully him a lot for it. Like I remember he had another friend from
Well, that's
LA
kind of
who I knew.
Confucian in a way. I mean, that's very earnest to really believe it.
Yeah, but like he had. So we had a. I think of the best story with this is I was at his apartment and he had a friend of his who I knew her briefly from LA, and we were hanging out at his apartment and he brought over two girls who he was trying to fuck at least one of them, you know, and like all of a sudden like there was
Adult
a lull in the
women, right?
conversation. Yes, adult women, to be clear. And there was a lull in the conversation,
Okay.
and I looked out at them, and I'm like, you know, I've known him for a long time, and one thing you might not know about him is that he's a revisionist, and by that I mean he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened. And
What?
then like yeah, and then his friend jumped in without any coordination and was like, yeah, it's absolutely true. He's sending me text messages all the time about how the shadows of
This
the
was an
smokestacks
Indian
don't
guy?
line up and everything. Yeah, and he's like very like liberal and is very like conscious about how he's perceived. So he was like panicking. And he's like, "No, it's not true. Don't believe him. It's not
And this was
true. I don't
true?
believe that." And like, no, it was obviously a joke, right? Like, and everyone took it as a joke.
No, I
But
don't
like
know if this is
he
obvious.
is
This seems like you were just like psychopathically cock blocking this random man, is how I'm reading this story.
No, I was trying to help him. I was trying to get him to loosen up. Like,
Okay, all right, okay.
the,
That's good.
yeah.
We all have our methods. I want like a Nathan Hitch. I want like a Nathan dating coach arc. I think that would be very entertaining.
Uh, you
I
know,
I,
I am
I have one
very
more
good at
question for
that.
you. Go ahead. Yeah, despite what this last anecdote would say, I actually can vouch for your Riz game, as it were. I think since this is
he has like
officially a
like
Gen Z, this is officially a Gen Z podcast, we have to say Riz. My question for you, Andrew, is um,
yeah.
as someone who runs your own website, is your own boss, how do you decide what to work on in the morning when you wake up? Like, how do you choose what to do?
Okay, I see. Well, a lot of it is unfortunately or fortunately intuition driven, I would say. And like
Okay.
I I have like a lot of unorthodox opinions on like kind of like the whole industry and how like products should be built. Like in some ways I think of it like without sounding like corny, I do think of it like making art in some way. And I say this as someone who's never fucking made art. But I think that like the value of like following your intuition um, is like extremely valuable, even when it comes to like building something like a software product. And I think that I don't really believe in a lot of the tenets of like typical product management. I think a lot of it is just total fucking bullshit. I think a lot of it is just you need someone to fucking take the fucking blame and the accountability, and you just hire some fucking loser from Stanford
Ah,
who can like actually do some critical thinking to like do this shit. But like,
uh-huh.
and I also have some unorthodox like opinions on like VC. I hate VCs. I don't like venture capital. I think every software product should strive to be like cash flow positive so you can sustain yourself without like selling a big part of your fucking stake or
I
like
feel like when you say that, you're
because
just sending out like
Mhm.
VCs can smell someone saying that and then they start circling. So you're going to have them on you like sharks now that you said you don't want to raise.
Oh, dude,
he's
I wish,
trying.
bro. I fucking wish, but
I'm trying to manifest this, dude. I'm so like trying to hyperstition this. Yeah.
no. So I would say a lot of it is like intuition, and a lot of
Uh-huh.
it is just also just like just trial and error, um, and like yeah, like someone that I respect a lot is like I guess this isn't a surprise, but like Paul Graham, who's like the guy who made Y
Oh, I'm
Combinator.
like a
I
massive
mean,
Paul
Y
Graham
Combinator.
head.
You are too, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
he's
read
like
all his
not even
essays
a
when I was like,
writer and he's like a better writer than me. Like that's just his like
dude,
subclass.
no,
I'm so mad.
yeah, his essays are amazing, and I think
Yeah.
like what like his core tenet is like he's like the Christopher Lash of like tech, where he's like it's all about the fucking product, and like now like and okay, now I'm going on a tangent, but I don't even fucking care. Like what you notice in the Valley, and I live in the Bay Area too, so like I've seen it even more there. In New York, it's a little bit
Uh-huh.
less because people are more insecure, but in the Valley, everyone now is like chasing the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, and everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, and everyone like because you see them on magazine covers, they're worth billions of fucking dollars, whatever the fuck. So I think there's this huge like group of people who are like very filled to the fucking tits with like pedigree, and they like want to do all the things that like surround being an entrepreneur. They want to go to conferences, they want to like um they want to raise money, another thing, they want to
Yeah.
like do all these things that like all, and it's like it's all this shit, and like but to me it's just all about the outcome. It's all about just the fucking pure output in some ways, and of course it's never that simple. It's like branding is like huge, it's super powerful. If anything, it's like sometimes it's more powerful than the fucking product. But like I think like that whole group of people and like this this movement that I see in the Valley, especially of um like people wanting to be the founder, to like live the lifestyle of being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, really just like irks the shit out of me. Not because I'm like some fucking purist savant who's like so fucking clear cut and dry about like like sublimating into like this pure output paradigm or some bullshit, but just because it's like at some point it's just like literally like just sickening. It's just to me it's just like so corny and sickening, and it's just like um just really like it's just really bad. There's just no other even way to put it. It's just like without saying really bad words that I shouldn't say on a podcast. It's just like
Sure.
just disgusting. So I think like that's also why I always just try to like um not get too like in up my own ass about it. That's why I always try to remind myself that this is nothing. This might die tomorrow. Um like this is a rounding error, like especially in terms of like a B2C product, this is a fucking rounding error. And I should just like stay kind of like disciplined and focused and not like um get too distracted with, and I think that's also why I try to keep like a arm's length distance from like getting too deep in with like promoting like myself in a way, and I always try to like
Hmm.
keep like this between me and lit salon. um and I try to like make it about the product rather than me. That's why even though sometimes I want to take credit for it, I want to go on my personal Instagram and be like, "Hey, I made this. This is really fucking cool. Like I literally spent like a whole fucking year and a half on this." Like, and I want to like shill the shit out of it. But I always try to like art because I guess I also know how like prideful and egotistical I am myself. I always try to like artificially force this distance between me and the product and the output. Um, if that even remotely makes sense. And I try to put the spotlight on the thing rather than like include myself in the spotlight in any sort of way. Not that it would even, not that it even has a fucking spotlight, but like I think that's like my general philosophy towards like product building in general. It's just that like, and I think that's also why I really hate the fact that like, um, in like especially the last decade or so that like tech entrepreneurs have been like a lot of them are just immortalized. A lot of them are like celebrities now. And I'm sure people will think that like, oh, this is all because of like XYZ. It's because of Elon Musk or whatever. But I think it's deeper than that. I think it's like um, they became like the modern day rock stars, right? They're
Yeah, I
like
mean, you
in
yourself said
magazine covers.
earlier that a
Yeah,
million Asian boys learned to code because of the social network. Do you think you were ever taken in
yeah.
by this sort of glamour of it, or were you
No, for
always?
sure, for sure.
Yeah, you were. Okay.
No, for sure, 100%. Like for me, it was always about. Um, I mean, that movie is literally. I watched that movie in Korea in fifth grade, and I was like, "This is the coolest shit I've ever
Yeah.
fucking seen in my life." But for me, it was always about websites. Like eventually, by the time I was like a 18, 19, around there, it was all about like making beautiful websites, and I almost like kind of put them on a pedestal of like, oh, like this thing is like alive, like a great website, like a great
That is
product in a
art,
way
by
is
the
like
way.
alive.
That's how it feels to make art. So you
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
need to.
no, it is. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I never try to say it out loud, but like
Yeah,
that
no,
is
I can
when you
say
see it.
it because, that is possibly even less profitable than Lit Salon. But yeah, I don't know, man. So wait, so when app? When are we getting the app?
One app, one phone app.
Oh
When
yeah,
app?
yeah. That's dude. Hopefully soon, man. But like, it's gonna take a while for sure. Like,
Hopefully
I'm a
soon, but a
really
while.
proficient
That's the most like
web
I've
developer.
literally worked in comms for a
Mhm.
startup. That's the most like startup comms answer. Hopefully soon, but it's gonna take a while.
Like, no one wants a fucking website. People want apps. You're right. You're 100%
Yeah.
right. It's just that I have to learn a lot to be able to do that. It's like it's pretty much remaking the entire client, and
Yeah.
something that with like tools that I know a lot less. So,
And would you
and
hire
I'm
like
like
someone
very
in
adverse
Poland to do
to
this, or
that.
you do it
No,
yourself?
never. I don't believe in outsourcing. I don't believe in yeah, I don't believe in like
This is
ever
America,
like
damn it. We
out.
make our own apps. Yeah.
No, yeah. If you're really about that life, you got to be a generalist and a master of none, jack of all trades. You don't want to be the autistic savant sometimes in life, and this is one of those cases. You want to be the fucking designer, receptionist, engineer,
Yeah.
fucking everything. And
I
like, I
get
will
that. I
never
get that
ever
with
pay.
publishing as well. You have to wear a lot of hats. Nathan, I want to toss it to you to see if there's any last thing really quickly that you wanted to get out of our friend here before we let him wrap it up.
that to get out of him.
Oh, you might be
What's your
muted, my
favorite
friend. Oh,
book?
there you are.
What's your favorite
Oh,
book,
My
here.
Nathan?
favorite book.
Yeah.
Shit, man. It's a fucked up question to ask me.
I mean, we could do like top four, but I think he just went for one, which
Yeah,
is
you
either
could
better
just
or worse.
No, no, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Let me actually try to jog my
Are
memory.
you pulling up
Holy shit,
your
someone.
lit salon? Are you dog fooding?
he's pulling
I,
a
I
he's
am.
he's pulling
Yeah,
up
He's
I'm
his
dog
dog
salon.
fooding,
fooding, ladies
baby.
and gentlemen.
Okay, you got to remember this is like temporal. Actually, no, no, no. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give the fucking temporal answer. This is like what I think in the last like year or so.
Okay.
Um, there's this book called Sadly Porn, but written by this guy. I mean,
Delicious
it's under a pseudonym.
tacos. Is
No,
that
no,
delicious
no. It's written
tacos?
by this blogger
Oh,
by who goes by the last psychiatrist. Um, and it's really phenomenal. I really liked it, and
What
it's like
I'm
it's
gonna
not
get
about porn. I
cooked.
mean, it is about,
I'm gonna get cooked for thinking
but
that
it's
that was
about like
delicious tacos, but I'm gonna leave it in out of honor.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucked up, bro. But no, I'm kidding. It's honestly just as internety and fucking kind of shows how fucking retarded I am. But it's like about it's not really about porn. It's about like, I guess, like psychoanalysis. There's like a segment on dream analysis that I thought was really interesting, and it's like um some weird like Lacanian flavor that like it's like his flavor. It's very like if you read his blog post, it's like you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Um, and the books that I read in like the last year or so, I would say this is probably my favorite. Um, and other than that, like what else? Like I read Eros the Bittersweet by Anne Carson. That was fucking amazing. I probably read that in the last year or two too. Around then, Paglia's Sexual Persona is also like a
Oh
great
yeah.
book that I thought that I was
Okay.
reading.
Okay. This man.
Um,
These are all
and
like.
that book has like a special place in my heart a bit because
These
like
these are all
um,
literate
I think that
choices.
book is the reason why I discovered Red Scare Book Club. I think so.
I feel like
Um,
sort of revealing your like alt lit power level. It's like being gay in the 50s. Like you just start to mention certain like people or like
I know.
phrases, and it just sort of like appears in the air in the like mental consciousness. Like Paglia is one of them.
I know, and it's like it's also embarrassing because it's like it's when I really get exposed into being like a fucking midwit. But I also like Calvino a lot, Cosmic Comics, Invisible Cities. Like
Do you have a
those are
favorite?
probably like
Do you have a
my
favorite Substack author?
21-year-old favorite books.
You don't have to say
Fuck.
us. It's
Uh,
okay.
It's okay. Is it
um, um, um.
is it Worst Boyfriend?
No, I know, bitch, I know what you're fucking thinking about. It's not him. It's not worst boyfriend ever.
Oh, worst boyfriend.
um,
You know, I
did you guys
met
have him as a
him.
guest?
No, I didn't. I'm lying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
meet
Cairo
him. I
knows
just
him.
thought that
Yeah.
would be a fun thing to say.
dude, dude, I read his stuff with like the brightness all the way down.
I know
Like,
multiple people who have
it's
met
insane.
him. We ran like
Yeah. There's a
a takedown of
We
him.
also
Yeah.
ran a hit piece. Yeah, we ran a hit piece on him.
wait,
But
really?
Cairo, yeah, but Cairo's talked to him over the
Yes, we
phone
did.
before. He's seen the van on video call.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Oh,
He's unfortunately, I think it's pretty much all true. So take from that what you will. And he's been to KGB quite a few times, so you might have just like seen him in the shadows, like the Riddler.
no, there's a friend that I made through lit salon, Drew. She showed me a picture of him, so I know, because I was
How
very
did
curious what he
wait, wait,
looks
whoa,
like,
whoa,
because I was
whoa.
like, oh my god.
How
How
did
does she
Drew
get a
come into
photo of
possession
him?
of this picture?
Well, she took it. She was there. She was doing
Was
blow
she?
with him or
Did
something
she?
in the
I hate to
bathroom or
be so
something.
impolite, but did she know him biblically?
Wait, biblically, what do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Is
Did
she
they have?
Asian?
Were they intimate?
Oh no.
Okay, all
No. She
right, all
doesn't
right,
like
all
him
right,
at all.
all
Obviously, yeah,
right.
she's a woman.
Well,
She
I
can't.
think that's
No,
a
I'm kidding.
great.
No,
I think that's a
like,
great place to wrap it because we are at time. So I want to say to you, sir, thank you so much for coming on. And I want to give you one last chance to remind our listeners who you are and what you do, and where, if they want to know more, where they can check out your stuff.
yeah. Go to lit salon. The URL is literally lit.salon. We have like Discord, Instagram. That's pretty much it. Like I'm a very Instagram driven person.
I think that's all you need.
And yeah, it's all you really need. And my personal stuff is like all private and it's all like just my friends. So
Yeah,
I
don't
won't.
don't
There's no
don't
use of
harass
plugging anything.
Andrew. Just you know, follow Lit Salon and let the master be behind the curtain. Okay, that all sounds
Yes.
good. I think this is a fortuitous time to wrap it. So I'm going to say to you, listener, watcher, thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to sponsor the show, this is where I will give your sponsor message. So please consider being a sponsor. Please also consider sticking around and becoming a paying subscriber to the journal for just a few bucks a month. That will get you access to all the behind the scenes of the articles, and it will also get you access to the after show, which Nathan and I are going to be jumping into right now. We are going to be staying on to talk a little about how this went, give you some bonus reflections, you know, a little extra hot goss. So if you're having fun, please do consider becoming a paying member. It helps us keep the show on the air. And I say to you, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, King.